Good afternoon, my name's Martin Woods and I'm here with
Susie Russell, and we're both part of the curatorial and collection research section here at the National Library.
We're very pleased to be demonstrating Map Search for you today. We're going to show you a few operations of the system. The project has been going for a couple of years and we're really quite pleased now to be in production with about 13,000 map items. We're going to do a georectification or geolocation of a standard map within the collection, and then we're going to do a couple of search operations and also show you a feature of Map Search, which is quite unique, which allows the user to annotate and describe features on the maps. So I'm going to start with a simple georectification of a map of Goulburn. This is one we'd identified previously. You can see we have a gazetteer to help us with our decision making, and the map of, you can see the green ticks on each of the maps. It means that the geolocation has been verified by human hand or eye, and a lot of the maps are actually auto georectified in the first instance, and perhaps we have time to talk about that another day, but right now it's about geolocating a map. This is the map that I decided wasn't accurate enough. I'll remove the Show Map Extents button, which gets rid of the bounding boxes. And if I change the opacity level at the top from 100 to the base layer, which is OpenStreetMap, you'll see that it's way out to the west on the historical map. And let's have another look just to confirm that it's the same right across the whole map. There's that sporting ground or facility, Victoria Park, and you can see that again it's too far to the left as you're looking at the screen on the historical map. So to rectify the map, I choose the geolocate map icon. It's telling me that this has been geolocated before, and each time, each geolocation operation, it will populate with 4 paddles, and we can see the paddles there, and I can already see what the problem is with paddle number 1. So I just choose 1 on the keyboard. 2 is more or less in the right place. We'll have to go in a bit closer to see if there's any problems with 3 and 4. You can use up to 8 paddles. So that's on Mary Street. So they're both on Mary Street, but that one's on the corner of Robinson. And there's Robinson there. So I'm going to shift 3 across to the corner of Mary and Robinson. And you can already see that the average angle error is now under 1, and that's enough for a successful geolocation. So I'll now hit geolocate. This will take a couple of minutes, and while this is going, I'm going to hand back to Susie to do the first of our searches.
Thanks, Martin. So I'm after maps of Newcastle. And again, using the gazetteer, I'll select one. You can see I've left that search pretty open, so I haven't chosen to limit it, but there are various ways you can do that on this left-hand search panel. And again, a number of results returned. I'm interested in this second map, the 1936 road map that you can see is on a grid. Like Martin, I'll turn off the map extents and we'll have a closer look. So zooming into this area, something that I'm interested in about this map is that it shows quite well the infrastructure that's really tied to Newcastle's history as a penal, a maritime and a mining region. So something that you can fairly readily see is quite a high density of hospitals. So down here we see what was then called a hospital for the insane. A little to the northeast, Newcastle Hospital, I think one of the oldest in the country. A little further north, there's Cootes Memorial Hospital. And you can also see in quite good detail on this historic map the associated buildings. So a nurses' home here, outpatients. Again, nurses' quarters related to this one. Something else I've noticed about this map is quite close to this high density hospital sort of area near the good sea breeze. You can see quite a number of religious institutions. So there's the Presbyterian Church, there's the cathedral, a Catholic church, and another Presbyterian church and a Baptist tabernacle. I'm going to pan back to Newcastle Hospital, again, one of the more historic hospitals. So zooming in a little, I'm now going to show you the base map, that default OpenStreetMap, what that looks like in this area. And you can see that there is still a hospital there called the Royal. But once we switch to the overlay of the two maps, you can see that the building configuration is really quite different. And in part, that's got to do with the 1989 Newcastle earthquake. Something else to mention on the right-hand panel here is that once you click on the ellipses, you get a bit more detail about the map from the catalogue. And you also see these options to download the map or view the map in Trove. And as Martin showed you, because we're logged in, we've got these options to geolocate. Later on, I'll show you this add or edit features option. So now I'll reset to default to show you my second search, which is a different type of search, this time by keyword rather than place name. And my keyword is fire. Again, I haven't limited the search, but you can see it's only returned quite a small number of results, just 8. And I'll select this municipality vocally map, again turning off the extents. So you can see it's a nice example of a map with advertisements, and zooming into the reference table, I can see that the fire stations are marked like this with the FS. So I'll locate that on the historic map. And it's in this sort of central area, not so far from the cricket ground and the cemetery. Again, we'll switch to the base map layer, and I've stayed on OpenStreetMap. And you can quickly see that the fire station has moved a short distance. So what is now where the fire station was, a range of businesses and cafes. You can see Centrelink's there as well. And again, going to our overlay, you can see that short distance it's moved, and it's something that you see a bit with Map Search. Perhaps these fire stations took up the opportunity to expand and to move just a short distance away. I'll go back to the historic map and just move a bit further to the south, see what else has happened. So you can see in 1921 there was this golf links here. You can see where the clubhouse was. Having a look now, you can see there's one also next door. There's a school to the south, a couple of schools in fact. And there's one just to the north that's a bilingual school. So from a quick look, you're already getting a sense of some of the changes that have happened. And just to point out something else that can help you in exploring these maps is to just give yourself a bit more space by hiding the panels. So now I'll hand back to Martin to see how that map is going.
Thanks, Susie. And it's just completed. So I'll now have a look and see if we've achieved some semblance of accuracy with this map. There's a lot of details. It's a very rich map, 1945, quite interesting. And in this case, you can even see on the map itself, it's been annotated by the user. And you do find this with maps in historical collections like this, it's not just the printed mapping itself, but it's also what people have had to say. And in this case, someone's actually added public health information, businesses other than shopping and so on. So maybe it was someone who was involved with health. The accuracy, considering how quickly we did it, is okay for the time being. I'll move down to the Victoria Park, which was our other telltale bit of infrastructure, and you can see that that's in the right place. So we've geolocated, really the public have geolocated over 2/3 of the maps in the Map Search system, and we're really grateful for that involvement. And so far, the feedback is that the map geolocation software works well, but we're always interested in your feedback. I'm going to hand back to Susie to show you another unique feature of Map Search, and that's how to annotate a map.
Thanks, Martin. I'll just hop over here and reset to default. I'm also going to take a look at Goldman. But in fact, first, I'll just point out that once you hop over to the Features tab, you do have options to search by features. So you can see there's a fairly extensive list of feature types, and you could select one or multiple of those and then see what users have added so far by way of features on the historic maps. So that's something to explore. Moving back over to the Maps tab, I'll do my search of Goulburn. Again with the Gazetteer entry. And I'm going to take a look at this 1955 map. Extends off again. And once again, because we're logged in, the geolocation button is active, and we can see that the map has been geolocated. And the option to edit or add features is also active. So I'll click on that one. And you can see that someone's gone to town with this map, so to speak. There's a lot of features that have been added. And that's both in the form of the pins and the polygons as well. So from this window, you can see what someone has, or possibly various people have added to this map. You can take a look at the features that are already there. You can see that there's a way to add new features if there's one that hasn't yet been marked. But what I'm going to take a look at is, in fact, editing an existing feature. So you could either choose from the list there. In this case, I'm just going to zoom into the map and select the particular feature I'm interested in, and that's this smaller cemetery here. And I'll go into it and just take a look at what detail there is there. You can see there is already a bit of data there. There's one link that's been added from a newspaper article in Trove. What I'm going to do is add another link by doing that. So I will hop over to Trove and I'll see what we can find about Mortis Street Cemetery. I believe this is the article that's already been added to this feature, so let's take a look at this one. So you can see there's something here that's a bit of data about the age of the cemetery and comparing to some other features. So this is something that we could absolutely add to the feature. I'll just scroll up to the article identifier, copy that. I'll add it there. And I'll just have to decide what sort of title I'll give this. I'll mention that it has to do with the age of the cemetery. And obviously you've got free text there, so you can choose what you're going to how you're going to describe that. There's also a notes field, as you can see. So I'll save that change. You can see that that has performed an action, but we've not yet finished saving completely. So there's one more option up here, which is to click on this button, and then you're all done. That's editing a feature, and you can see the same location, you'd add a new feature. So as Martin said, it's a really great opportunity here with the features side of things as well for various community groups to really, in a sense, annotate these historic maps in a manner and to really share their knowledge and their findings with other interested parties.
Thanks, Susie. That is the end of this webinar on or video on Map Search by the National Library of Australia. Well, we're really pleased that they have the opportunity to show you some of the potential of Map Search in the short time that we have. The library plans to digitise over 30,000 Australian maps in the coming months, so the reach and range of uses that people could make of Map Search should increase along the way. And of course, I'll invite you to start using Map Search. We're very interested in your feedback, suggestions, and of course, georectification efforts. And please annotate maps as we develop the system and load more maps. Thanks very much.